you two okay? That was a really hard fall. Do you want help?
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've heard about why I think Cloud and Tifa is canon and why I think Rebirth is a Cloud and Tifa love story. But why exactly do I enjoy their dynamic so much?
Oh my god, that makeup! And that dress!
Nailed it, I know, thank you. Moving on.
To be honest, Cloud and Tifa are the only heterosexual couple I adore in media. Their fantastic portrayal in the Remake trilogy has made longtime fans like me go crazy, and even gained them many new fans as well. And there are so many reasons to show why these two have captured the hearts of gamers worldwide. And it's not just because of their kiss scene. Besides getting physically close during romantic scenes, they are a pretty legendary battle couple. I know that when this promotional image of them back to back for Remake came out, I was living for it. Since they both hit hard, you'll still need a mage or long-range attacker in the party, but who doesn't want to see them both where they get to kick ass and shine equally? Rebirth fed us even more with their synchronization attacks, and you can bet I love to see Cloud throwing Tifa every chance I get. They always manage to have each other's backs, whether it's Cloud shielding Tifa with his body or Tifa saving him from sudden doom. The fact that they can fight side by side like that and complement each other in that way is pretty appealing, and I find it rather sexy. Speaking of, let's talk about their contrasting looks and my penchant for blondes with brunettes. Well, that's very nice. That's very nice. This combination seems to be the physical embodiment of yin and yang, light and dark. Their eyes are red and blue, representing opposing yet complementing colors on the color spectrum, which makes for an optimal contrast to the human eye. Red represents passion or love, but it can also represent aggression. Blue gives off a more serene feel, just like the ocean. It's interesting when you think about these descriptors because in a lot of situations, Tifa is the level-headed one.
I've got skills.
Be nice.
I'm doing my best.
And Cloud is a fiery boy that can only be tamed by her, which shows just how subversive FF7 is, as everything is not what it seems. On an aesthetic level, they complement each other well due to this difference. And there's several instances where the design choices in their outfits reflect or complement the other one in the past. Cloud's outfit when they share a promise at the water tower is similar in color palette to Tifa's iconic outfit with her tank top and suspenders. Or how about Tifa's dress that night being similar in color to Cloud's Mako-colored eyes when he recalls that special moment. By the time Advent Children rolls around 2 years later, Cloud and Tifa are deliberately placed in matching leather outfits, showcasing their status as an official couple. Why did they become a couple?
So, after you left the village...
It's not hard to see why. It's because, as per Tifa's famous words at the end of the game, words aren't the only way that tell people what you're thinking. These two don't have to say much, and their romantic chemistry is off the charts. That's when you know the acting and writing for these two characters is excellent. They're not even real, and they have us feeling gagged. The tension is palpable, which is so important when you want to get across that these two characters are attracted to each other, but can't really put it into words since they're constantly having to fight for their lives or having to sort through some other drama going on. However, even in these moments, we can see how they still bring the heat. Hell, they don't even kiss in Tifa's original date sequence, and the developers gave them an early kiss scene in Rebirth if you max out Tifa's affection wheel. With Cloud taking the lead, so many grown adults had waited for this moment all of their lives. It's an achievement the likes of which we don't really see a whole lot with video game couples in general, and the moment in which they finally consummate their relationship is something special. As the possibility of death looms over their heads, Whether the developers will choose to portray the original idea of Cloud and Tifa coming out of a chocobo stable, or keep them outside, is anyone's guess. But this deleted scene from the game's files does make it even more damning for them. Barrett really said, "You guys get your fill?" Cloud's backside? Wow. Poor Tifa falls to her knees in embarrassment. I will not comment further. All I'll say is, I really look forward to how Square Enix is going to portray the lead up to this scene and the aftermath. It really has the potential to be one of the funniest scenes in the game for me. Besides physical compatibility, mental and emotional compatibility are just as important. And luckily, you can see how much they try their best with each other, even if they both go through misunderstandings and confusion due to both of their muddled recollections of their shared past in Nibelheim. Just in the start of Rebirth in the town of Calm, they have a misunderstanding, and Tifa gets very upset.
Sorry, I just need some space.
Even though she has no idea that Sephiroth is messing with Cloud's head and attempting to drive a wedge between Cloud and his biggest threat, Tifa. Luckily, in Junon, they reconvene at an inn and Cloud apologizes to Tifa for what he said.
Yeah,
You...
regret what I said in Calm.
Oh. Come in.
Even though we, the players, know that neither are at fault. This attempt at having everything be back to normal amidst all the chaos is so sweet, and reminds me of a lover spat, even though they aren't even in a relationship yet. Tifa is also never made to feel small in Cloud's presence.
In that case, follow my lead.
Nah, Tifa's.
He always holds Tifa in high regard and really pays attention to her.
Tifa!
Oh shit! Tifa!
Are you okay?
I thought I was dead for sure.
Whether it's telling her that the only person that he remembers from Nibelheim is her,
The only person from the village I remember is you.
Huh? Oh. Okay then.
worrying about her well-being, remembering the color of the dress Tifa was wearing during their promise.
The light blue one? With a bit of green in there?
Yeah.
Complimenting her piano playing skills.
Much better than I remembered, that's for sure.
Or telling her that her opinion is the only one that counts in the upcoming sequence that is sure to collectively break our hearts in the Northern Crater. Indeed, Cloud has always kept a watchful eye over her ever since they were children, and he makes sure she's not far out of his sight as adults either. Along the same vein, Tifa is shown to really care about Cloud's overall well-being and be there when he needs saving, as per director Hamaguchi's words in a recent interview with Square Enix. Cloud is obviously being influenced by Sephiroth, and he's starting to act oddly and do strange things. But one of the ways we grounded him in these scenes is to have Tifa close by. She's there to ground him. As she says, he saved her before, now she offers to save him. At the same time, she's got her own worries, so Cloud may be supporting her in a similar way. There's quite an interesting dynamic between the two of them. Tifa reassures Cloud often, even acknowledging just how much he was there for her as a child after she fell off Mount Nebel and hit her head.
When the rest of them ran, you were there for me. You stayed when I needed you most. If that's not a hero, then I don't know what is.
He has always been her hero, and he never even had to try to join Soldier to prove to her that he was worthy of her by trying to attain a certain status in the military. Now keep in mind that this is a short time after Cloud tried to attack her, thinking that she is Genova. So he is feeling very ashamed of his actions, but she never judges him. The ultimate testament to her love and patience is when she finds Cloud sick in a wheelchair with Mako poisoning in Midil and vows to stay by his side until the end, while the end of the world approaches and the weapons are unleashed. We are not ready for this sequence, nor are we ready for when their shared love comes to light in the livestream, when Tifa guides him back to himself, their spiritual bond more powerful than ever. It also helps that they enjoy each other's presence a lot.
It's kind of funny, us going our separate ways, thinking that must be it, that we'd never meet again, and then here of all places we do. You know what? We should totally celebrate. Let's dress up and hit the town.
Really?
I mean, why not? It'll be fun.
Do you even have fancy clothes?
Not like fancy, but I'll figure something out. What do you think would suit me, huh?
Something refined.
Yeah, I guess we're not kids anymore. Be sure to pick an outfit that goes with mine, okay?
Will do.
This is gonna be so much fun. You'll see.
Yeah. Maybe.
And on that happy note, I think it's time we head back to the bar. Come on.
You don't need a break?
Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. Marl isn't always right, you know.
Whenever they have a mission together, they always have fun. Tifa loves to tease Cloud, and Cloud will play right along with her.
It's not what you know, but who.
You remembered.
Not a patient teacher.
Maybe not so patient next time.
It's this kind of light-hearted banter that gives moments of levity to an otherwise serious and heavy story, and their personalities play well off of each other. They tend to surprise each other at times, whether it's Tifa pushing Cloud during a frog minigame,
Ribbit.
Hey!
giving him lessons as his teacher,
Take a quick breather.
Which lesson was that again?
Lesson 1. Got it?
or being competitive during a Queen's Blood match.
Sucks to be you.
That's so, because I came prepared to win. Think you can take me?
I guess we'll find out.
Cloud asking Tifa questions about food.
So, you were the one behind Seventh Heaven's menu?
Half was a holdover from the old owner. The better half was mine.
Should have ate there more.
Yeah. You snooze, you lose. See how they dry their mushrooms here? Bet they'd make for a mean stock. Doubt there's much it wouldn't improve. Soups, pilafs, maybe even a pot roast. What sort of thing would you go for?
Gonna go with the pot roast.
Ah, why does that not surprise me? I remember Mom saying how Claudia's was the best she'd ever had. If you tell me what it was like, I could try and make it for you.
This spontaneity and variety is a spice that adds to their life. A big reason lies in the fact that they have a shared past together. On page 14 of the Traces of Two Pasts novel written by main scenario writer Kazushige Nojima, this passage really stuck out to me where Tifa recounts the days of her past living in Nibelheim with Cloud. Tifa recalled that when she and Cloud were very young, they used to spend all day playing together. Cloud's front door was right next to her own, making it easy to run back and forth between the two homes. As children, they'd had little reservation about inviting themselves in whenever they pleased. Ah, that little Strife boy has a face like an angel. That's how Tifa's mother had once described Cloud. And from another passage, at some point, she and Cloud had grown distant. For a time, she wondered if perhaps it was due to some kind of falling out between Cloud and the other boys of the village. The obvious suspect was the incident on Mount Nebel shortly after the death of Tifa's mother. But even if the events of that day really had played out as everyone claimed, Tifa felt a nagging sense that there was more to it. Cloud had been pulling away from her long before that fateful day. Tifa's father blamed Cloud for the incident and forbade him from going near her. Still, Tifa continued to admire Cloud into her early teens. And a lot of people like to say that Cloud and Tifa don't suit each other since they're both introverts, but that's really oversimplifying things, I think. They've always been a source of motivation for each other. Tifa states on page 21 that she'd assumed he was lonely, an assumption that now struck her as terribly presumptuous and more than a little embarrassing. Now she understood that it was a choice. Cloud chose to block out the things that he found distasteful or troublesome to deal with. It filled her with envy. It meant that, in a way, Cloud was her exact opposite. She imagined how different her life could be if only she possessed the resolve to stick to her own convictions and not worry about what others thought. The possibilities seemed endless. One could say that after Cloud left to join Soldier, he inspired her to grow and be her own person, and shortly thereafter, she meets Zangan, her martial arts trainer. The thought of her kept him going and inspired him as well. A passage from 2000 Gil to become a hero from the Rebirth World preview states, "To become a soldier, he'd do whatever it took. If there was a path, he'd walk it. If there was a door, he'd open it. After all, hadn't he declared as much to Tifa? This was his choice, and his alone. He would become exceptional. A soldier. A hero. Someone special to Tifa." Now, even with Cloud being the fatherless outcast of the village and being blamed for Tifa's fall, he still never stopped trying to interact with her or think about her.
Tifa, wait! Tifa! Tifa!
Tifa.
Tifa? What's wrong?
Nothing.
Is Tifa like your girlfriend?
No.
But she's someone special.
It's not like that. More like... I don't know how to explain.
I see.
Indeed, the bond they shared was already powerful, even if neither of them realized it at the time.
Playing that piano again brought back a lot of memories. How Mom used to teach me while Dad was downstairs in the kitchen doing his best, which was pretty good. Hangouts with Emilio and the gang, which we kept inviting you to, but you never came.
Never? Really?
Really? But you seemed fine on your own.
That what it looked like? That I enjoyed being alone?
You didn't?
Of course not.
Huh. Guess we still don't know each other that well.
Well, never too late to make up for lost time.
Yeah, that's true.
The fact that they want to make up for lost time and get to know each other even better is a great sign for the future. In many ways, Cloud and Tifa's story of faith and devotion in the face of despair forms the backbone of Final Fantasy VII. When all hope is lost, they have each other. And after the Genova War, they still have each other. I believe the song Midgar Blues in Remake and Rebirth is talking directly about their love story.
I can't see the stars no more, but they still fall. In the plate's reflection, a summer night sky for my youth. You and me, girl, watching and wishing.
How does their story end? After the battles in Advent Children and Cloud finally gaining forgiveness at the end of the film, at the end of Reminiscence of Final Fantasy VII, we are treated to a small sequence of Cloud calling Tifa to shut the bar for a day, presumably to spend time with her, Denzel, and Marlene.
ああ、俺だ。あとはミッドガルに運ぶ荷物だけだ。何か依頼があったのか？いや、それは断ってくれ。明日は休みにする。別に。なあ、ティファ。店は休めるか？ずいぶん簡単だな。わかった。デンゼルとマリンにも伝えておいてくれ。それじゃあ、後でな。
I would love to see more from them taking place after Dirge of Cerberus and beyond, hopefully with an expanded member of the family. Director Hamaguchi did express wanting to dig a bit deeper into the universe after part 3 of the trilogy is released, so maybe it can happen. I'll always be grateful for what we receive, no matter what, as the remake project has been such a blessing to experience, and Cloud and Tifa are such a staple of my childhood. Thank you for sharing in this moment with me, and let's look forward to all the amazing scenes that Cloud and Tifa will share in the third game. TanaGreekNose over and out.